Welcome back to part 7 of the Metroid Prime 200% walkthrough. We've just entered Phase on Mines, and we are going to proceed only part way through the Phase on Mines. We won't have all the power-ups to go through the entire mines in one run, but we'll get part way, get one significant upgrade, and unfortunately have to make our way back. Once again, every time we enter a new region, we're greeted to a panoramic um, view of the opening main area. We have our new scan here. Mechanism, Mega Turret, Perimeter Defense Turret reinforced with energy shielding. Frustrated with inferior armor plating on standard defense turrets, the Space Pirates added energy shielding to a modified heavy cannon. The new shielding and increased beam strength make the Mega Turret an efficient point defense weapon. But just like all the other defense turrets, we are just going to take them out with missiles. 3 missiles in this particular case. As we go through the higher difficulties, there will be more missiles for that. The path forward is behind that shielding, but instead we are going to go through this optional area where we are going to fight these space pirates. There are just a few space pirates that we have to take care of here. And as we go through and take out these few space pirates, one of the things to watch out for is that there is this one space pirate that likes to come and drop out of the ceiling right there. But we will make our way to the top of this particular crane. Alright, don't really need that. And we can scan this terminal. The crane controls are functional but require power. A power conduit is nearby. A blast of electrical energy will energize the conduit and restore power to the crane. So that's in the kitchen. Transfer of building materials complete. Processing of materials for Xenome containment units underway. And report all phase-on mutations to science team immediately. All units with useful mutations will receive an increase in pay and rations. Elite and trooper candidates are now being selected by command. The phase on mines is actually a great source of optional pirate logs and data. Here is our power conduit, which will allow us to access the crane. So let's try accessing the crane again. Crane control is now active, and so the crane will move. So yeah, along the way we are going to scan a number of optional scans not part of our logbook, just to enrich the story and again provide more context to what the space pirates are doing. One other thing I want to mention is that I love how atmospheric the music is. It's got this nice kind of ominous feel to it. It's really, really good in my opinion. This music is really only for the first half of the phase on mines, so you really get this feeling of dread, especially if you're playing it for your first time. Secondary force field control disabled. So that's one of 2 scans that we have to do for the force field. Primary force field control disabled. So we need those 2 things. And we can see not only do we need the wave beam, but we need the ice beam to access this area. We're going to be greeted with more mega turrets. Ooh. But if you're quick enough, I'm not quick enough, but if you're quick enough, you can scan the turrets. And here we are greeted to one of the first major staging grounds. Here I'm going to use my thermal visor. If you have a charged ice beam, you shatter the shadow troopers immediately. We're probably going to see 1 or 2 more shadow troopers, possibly. The layout of this room actually changes a fair bit from point to point. Here we are. So we will see that as we make our way through this room a number of times. And now we are greeted to our first new variation on space pirates. So let's have a look at these guys. Ooh, they don't really want to come out. Oh, here they go. Morphology, Wave Trooper, space pirate armed with wave beam technology. Space pirates have reverse engineered several of your weapons, including the wave beam. A flaw in the design makes these pirates vulnerable to their own beam weapon system. These weapons are inferior to Chozo designed originals, but still quite potent. So that's definitely very interesting. Space pirates are trying to reverse engineer our weapons. So this is also an indication that you have to use the wave beam. One of the things I will say that I like about this, or not necessarily like, but one of the things I do like is that the color here, the space pirates are purple, and the wave beam is generally a purplish color. So when in doubt, just match the color. So when you see these purple wave beam troopers, just use the purple wave beam. Okay, we will go up here. I believe there are more shadow pirates here. So yep, here we go. More shadow pirate. We have this grating here that's fragile. I'll just shoot the grating in order to proceed. And here we come to an interesting room. Let's take out the space pirates. That's good. And we have a couple of scans here. Recommended battle systems for elite pirates are as follows: shoulder-mounted plasma artillery cannon, repulsion shield, wavequake projector, energy siphon system, and retractable wrist bayonets. New space pirate data. Log 11.001.9. Initial Project Helix experiments with space pirate... Oh, where are we? Embryos were disastrous. The phazon infusion process degenerated brain tissue even as it augmented muscle mass. None of what we have termed elite pirates lived to maturity. The few that survived their infanthood suffered severe psychotic breakdowns as juveniles, killing everything within their zone of perception. Research team Scalera made a recent breakthrough in which parasite studies with a phazon strain codenamed Vertigo were highly successful. Since then, we have successfully fused the Vertigo phazon with space pirate DNA with great success. The latest batch of elite pirates have reached maturity successfully and are ready for field testing and training. I will say that's a scary thought, being a guinea pig for phazon testing. Platform system active. So that's our only major logbook scan in this room, but there are going to be many, many more. But one thing I will say is that I cannot imagine trying to be a volunteer for that, to say that we are going to inject you with phazon, and there is going to be a good chance you're going to not only go crazy, but more wave beam. I couldn't remember which kind of troopers that were on the second level, but basically we have to get rid of these. I think there's one more over here. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, here we are. He's going around in circles. He found me. Alright. So you can't use missiles on those guys, you can only use the wave beam. Platform systems active. You can hear that sound, and so there's a expansion somewhere. We'll see it on the next floor. Security alert, all stations. Bioform Samus Aran has made planetfall on Talon 4. The Hunter is among us. All units are hereby ordered to attack Aran on site. Terminal force is authorized. Report all sightings of Aran to Security Command at once. Well, yep. Space Pirate Command definitely wants us dead. I don't think that there is. Like I said, you know, the room changes configuration. Ooh, but that's an important scan. Morphology, Power Trooper. Space pirate armed with power beam technology. Space pirates have reverse engineered several of your weapons, including the power beam. A flaw in the design makes these pirates vulnerable to their own beam weapon system. These weapons are inferior to your Chozo designed originals, but still quite potent. So very similar to the wave beam one, only this one is the power beam. So we should really use the power beam. So just a few charge beam shots on this one lone guy. We'll see another way where we can defeat these power troopers as well later on as we progress through the mines. So scanning that will cause the industrial power beam to go online. Attention all units, report to your battle stations. Failure to comply with this order is an act of treason. Treason is punishable by termination. Fancy way of saying they're going to kill you if you don't report to battle stations. So we can use the spinner here to move the cannon around, or sorry, move this laser around. And let's try scanning the there we go. That's a little weird. So we can blast the rock face there to expose the door, although I'm not quite sure why the rock face is there in the first place. I mean, how would the troopers move around the phase-on mines without it? But what we do want to do is we want to move the cannon around to face that general direction. And don't want to scan any of that stuff. Just there we go. And we want to blast this right wall here for another missile expansion. So we're up to 85 missiles. Okay. Blast the ice store here. And here we can see that there is some kind of electrical conduit. I don't really think too much about it. You know, I think maybe you can kind of time your jump start and take the morph ball tunnel. But I think it's just faster. Alright, so there's this preferred way of blasting power troopers. Lock on and fire a super missile. The super missile is technically a charge beach combo of your power beam. So it uses the power beam plus missiles to fire 5 missiles to fire that charge blast. So with super missiles, they are basically power beams, so go ahead and use them. Here, what we're going to do is we're going to solve this puzzle. We first blast that around and use the blue power spider ball track to move it around. The next one, what we're going to do is we're going to line up the red spider ball track, but we'll have to also line it up at the bottom as well. Use this hologram here to figure out how the alignment is supposed to work. Well, come on. So rotate the platform around to line up the red spider ball track. It's actually going to be at the back. You can hear the space pirates there in the background. So we will take the red track and we will go here. So we'll go around. Oh. So now we can't go any further because there's a large pile of debris in front of the third one. So we can't do anything about that for now. We'll look at how to deal with the debris a little bit later on. Here we have some scatter bamboo, where we can just use the wave beam to destroy those. And here we have an elevator within the phase-on mines. This isn't taking us to a new area, but rather just taking us to a lower level in the mines. You can see outwards that there is the impact crater. So we are right next to it. And now watch out for these crates. These crates with the markings on them are in fact explosive, so that make sure you keep your distance when shooting them. So um, this can feel like an endurance test as you make your way through. Now make sure you blast this particular crate here. It will kill the 2 hidden pirates, and I believe them are shadow pirates, plus reveal this missile expansion as well, bringing our total up to 90. Now this next room has a whopping 10 scans. So 2 creature scans and 8 logbook scans. And here we get our first look at what the pirates have been working on with that strained vertigo. This, as you can see, is an oversized pirate. Let's have a look at him. Morphology: elite pirate, Phazon enhanced space pirate, incredibly strong, armored, and well armed. Elite pirates are potent foes. Their energy siphon system absorbs beam weapon shots. The nature of this system makes them vulnerable to concussion-based weapons. Well armed, the elite pirate is effective in close combat and at a distance. Their massive size can be a weakness, and their sluggish speed allows for evasion and quick attacks. There is also this optional scan. We're going to see it here. Plasma artillery cannon. Unit has extreme thermal signature due to lack of shielding. Cannon connected to energy siphon systems to augment performance. Avoid beam weapon fire when energy siphon unit is active. So they're going to fire a... So what we're going to try and do is use that wave quake generator, jump over it, entice them into blasting the ground, and then fire a super missile as we're in the air. 2 super missiles on normal mode will disable the pirate. And what's going to happen next is we are going to be introduced to our second creature. They're going to be coming down this way. There they are. Morphology: Ice Trooper, space pirate armed with ice beam technology. Space pirates have reverse engineered several of your weapons, including the ice beam. A flaw in the design makes these pirates vulnerable to their own beam weapon system. These weapons are inferior to your chosen designed originals, but still quite potent. So now we got to use the ice beam on these now white colored guys. What I like to do is I like to use when you use a charged ice shot, you freeze them and use them as basically space pirate makeshift shields, so that you keep a frozen pirate in between you and the other pirates. Alright, we're just going to backtrack just a little bit for the scans. Normally I like to try and do the scans on the way, but that's just a little bit too challenging. Space pirate encrypted data decoded. Log 11.222.8. Science team is attempting to reverse engineer Samus Aran's arsenal based off of data acquired from her assaults on our forces. Progress is slow but steady. Command would dearly enjoy turning Aran's weapons against her. We believe we can implement beam weapon prototypes in 3 cycles. Aran's power suit technology remains a mystery, especially the curious morph ball function. All attempts at duplicating it have ended in disaster. 4 test subjects were horribly broken and twisted when they engaged our morph ball prototypes. Science team wisely decided to move on afterwards. Bioform Samus Aran continues to assault our holdings on Talon 4. Security has been compromised in multiple areas. Casualty rates are rising. Command has authorized a sizable bounty for the capture or termination of Aran. Report to your field officers for details. So, more pirates all over the place. Security level TAL will be in effect until further notice. All leaves cancelled pending downgrade of alert status. Darn. Consumption of elite nutrient mix by non-elite units is strictly prohibited. Failure to comply will result in a 50% ration reduction for a decacycle. Alright. Over here. A shipment of military-grade plasma artillery cannons is en route to Talon 4. The Eganoid Star Marines were acquired from where... The Enigoid Star Marines we acquired them from were letting them sit in a warehouse. Our elite pirates, on the other hand, will put them to good use very soon. Yikes. Okay, Space Pirate encrypted data decoded. So second log. Log 11.156.9. Investigations into a possible ingress point for the impact crater continues to meet with failure. The shield of strange energy that protects it is impermeable, and all attempts to tunnel past it have proven fruitless. Our continued futility in this matter is made the more significant in light of the recent lifeform readings we've discovered emanating from deep within the crater. Analysis of these readings indicate that a massive creature is gestating there, absorbing enormous amounts of phazon from the phazon core at the heart of the impact crater. This discovery makes accessing the crater doubly important. Not only will it open the door to vast deposits of phazon within, but it will also lead us to this creature, whatever it may be. That's some foreshadowing. Alright, log 10.023.7. Security command issued an all-points alert after the fall of Zebes. The alert concerns Bioform Samus Aran, also known as the Hunter. Subject is a female hominid and is heavily armed and extremely dangerous. Subject uses a powered armor suit of unknown design in battle, along with a number of potent beams and concussive weapons. All combat units are instructed to terminate Aran on sight, preferably in a fashion that will allow salvage of her powered armor suit and weapons. A considerable bounty will go to the unit who delivers Aran to command. Dead or alive, it matters not. There's an interesting one over here. Phazon Nutrient Vat. Elite Pirate Rations Processing in progress. So, is this the same one? Nope. Phazon Nutrient Vat. Elite Pirate Ration Processing in progress. Same text. Just a different scan. So we have 3 logs. So the space pirates know that we're here, and so now there will be more pirates in some of the areas around Talon 4. Evaluation of plasma artillery cannons is complete. The weapons are fully functional, but a flaw has been discovered. Subpar thermal shielding gives them a high heat signature. This could make them easier to target for enemies with enhanced vision capabilities. So if we use the thermal visor, we could target the cannon directly. Security alert. Computer systems compromised. Bioform Samus Aran has cracked our systems. The Hunter can access our system at will and is able to bypass most of our security programs. Use manual locking systems when possible. Facility commands request for elite pirate transfer to security forces granted. Prepare units EPG-8644 and EPG-8656 for field duty at once. I think those are elite pirates. Metroid aggression levels are rising. Be alert for any attempts by Metroids to escape from quarantine areas. Their energy absorption ability is not able to disrupt our force fields, but continued exposure to Phazon may change things for the worse. So why on earth are you keeping Metroids near Phazon? Oh, that's silly. I just wanted to double check. These units, I don't know if they're elite. Yeah, elite pirates transfer. Yep. Reports on Hunter activity are in. Analysis indicates that the Hunter is using morph ball technology to infiltrate our facilities. Recalibrate sensors to search for morph ball energy signatures. So the space pirates, I guess, are able to track us using a morph ball, but that's not really going to impact us. Log 11.440.4. Results are in from field studies on the bioform group Chozo, who we believe are extinct. We believe that Talon 4 was once a stronghold in a great Chozo empire, brought low by the meteor strike. Planetary devastation brought an end to the Chozo, yet remains of their society remain. Wait, let me start that again. Yet remnants of their society remain. We are studying these relics in an attempt to harness their power. What is of no use to us we destroy. In time we shall have all we need from this dead race, and shall wipe this planet clean of their ugly ruins. The dead should serve the living, not hinder them. Not much of historians, I guess. Alright, log 11.452.8. Although we are still no closer to finding the artifacts of the Chozo, we have at least produced a viable hypothesis for their function. It appears that each of the artifacts corresponds to one of the statues on the temple platform, and that each one acts as a small key to a huge lock. Judging by the number of statues, we assume there must be 12 artifacts. Once we find the resting spots of all 12, we can bring them here, unite them with their statues, and open the gate systems at long last. Once we do, the impact crater and whatever creature it shelters will be ours for the taking. So I think the space pirates have found a few, but are missing most. Phazon-infused fungal harvesting continues. Replacement of Tridical with Phazon-infused fungal matter in elite ration mix has been authorized. So, elite pirates are eating Phazon-infused fungus, or mushrooms. Security requests deployed of elite pirates in Metroid quarantine areas. The high casualties suffered by standard pirate units deployed in Metroid areas is not acceptable. We had... no. So we had 2 data there. Alright. Reconfiguration of security drones authorized. Deploy new drones to mission critical areas immediately. So we're going to see more of those security drones when we go back. Force field is offline. So new data. 11.402.5. We have come to another dead end. It is clear now that we will never discover the locations of the Chozo's artifacts until we can decipher the messages carved into the statues in this abominable temple. We can, but no need for us at the moment. Our language databases are woefully inadequate, and our linguistic analysts can come up with little more than vague theories. The best hypothesis that we can offer is that finding artifacts will require items spiritually linked to the Chozo civilization. However, without these items, we are lost, and Command grows more impatient by the day. Results must be produced soon. So the pirates are trying to find artifacts, they just can't seem to find them very fast. Replacements of standard hatch covers continues. Steel covers will be replaced with cordite and bendesium covers in 2 decacycles. This is to make the metal stronger, and we have to use more powerful weapons to break them. Planetary stealth technology is back online. We have evaded detection by the battlecruiser Emmons. The brief lapse in planetary security caused by the crash of our frigate is over. Now we can concentrate our efforts on the hunter. So nobody knows that we're here except us. Alright, new data. Log 11.377.1. Analysis continues on these cursed ruins and the Chozo temple that hovers near them. We are now completely certain that the containment field denying us access to the impact crater is linked to the strange artifacts that belong in the temple, but we are no closer to finding them or deciphering the riddles that seem to cover every wall of this ruined place. Command grows increasingly anxious for a resolution to this matter, so we must redouble our efforts. X-ray squadrons will begin terrain sweeps within days. Until they begin, patrols are instructed to report any and all architectural anomalies to their commanders. So that's also a nice hint. Use the X-ray visor when you're looking for artifacts. Increase Phazon portion of elite pirate ration by 18%. Report any signs of ration rejection by elites at once. And our last logbook entry, log 11.664.2. There have been numerous incidents involving spectral entities at Chozo ruin sites. Several personnel have been assaulted by these Chozo ghosts. Few have survived. Survivors speak of swift attacks from nowhere, brief sightings of the enemy, then nothing, only to be followed by another attack. Science team believes these attacks are in response to our efforts to recover Chozo relics and artifacts. Somehow, these entities are able to interact with the physical world, and it appears they wish to keep their artifacts to themselves. We will make them pay for such arrogance, for even ghosts can be destroyed. So, lots of scanning there. That's really the biggest hub of scannable information. And then we'll just proceed forward. One of the interesting things on this particular room, the ventilation shaft, is that we'll get these puffers and this poison gas coming out. So when we come back, we're going to have to deal with this poison gas, either tank the energy or find a way to get rid of it. Alright, we have another fight on our hands. Metroids from the initial batch have matured to hunter phase. Be advised that the hunter Metroids has a siphon tentacle. It can attack with it from a distance, as opposed to the close combat tactic used by younger Metroids. So the space pirates do battle Metroids. I guess some of them are able to fight them off and subdue them. Increased aggression levels observed in latest elite pirate units. Increased Phazon feed by 0.07% per science team mandate. Last scan, Metroid activities accelerating in non-frigid areas. So, got more wave troopers. Again, the wave beam stuns the wave troopers, so a charged wave shot will incapacitate them. So we have these wave troopers here, and we have some power troopers down below, so we can just super missile them. And we'll just fall. Oop. And oh, we did get him. I think that's it. Yep. We have one logbook scan in here. Yep, here we are. Our enemies will tremble before the might of our elite forces. I will say the elite forces are pretty scary on first encounter. Unauthorized Metroid feeding is strictly prohibited. Oh. Death to the hunter. Death to all who oppose us. So, new pirate data. Log 11.232.8. Elite Pirate Upsilon's propensity for Phazon has enabled our research team to infuse it far beyond our safety restrictions, and the results have been extremely encouraging. Its constant Phazon diet has increased its mass exponentially, but it has retained all mental faculties and shows dexterity with all elite weaponry, including plasma incendiary launchers and the chameleon manta issued for cloaking purposes. Elite Pirate Upsilon exhibits miraculous healing abilities. When injured, it seeks out Phazon deposits and coats itself in the substance, which instantly mends the creature's wounds. The subject, which we are codenaming Omega Pirate based on these developments, shows potential to be a new standard for our armies. Our only concern at this point is its potential overdependence on Phazon. While that seems to be an ongoing theme, that there is in all the Phazon, or all the creatures that are infused with Phazon, now depend on it to be sustained. Test results from battle simulation Samus Aran are promising. Elite units report a 74% success ratio against Aran in testing. High Command is pleased, but expects a higher ratio by Project's end. Boy, if they think that they're going to take us down, they got another thing coming. Increase bomb boot patrols in authorized area. Scramble all aerial units immediately. Flight pattern Sigma 4 is in effect. So not only more pirates, more flying pirates. We can look at this. Unit ident code EPG-8701, batch 01, field designation elite pirate. Yeah, so there are going to be these elite pirates and these stasis tanks. And that's okay. And we'll go through here. There is another elite pirate over there, but he's going to be dormant for a little while. And here we come to another area. Dynamo maintenance team is not responding to service call. Rerouting request to central command. So we're in the Dynamo now. Phazon processing and security systems are taxing the Dynamo beyond safety tolerances. Though the conversion to geothermal power is easing the drain on our systems, it is not enough. Further power use at current levels could lead to system failure. And one of the things that we have to deal with is an invisible enemy. This is an invisible security drone. We can't scan it, and we don't have a visor that can properly track this thing. So all we can really do is track it with our normal visor. We can't lock onto it, but you know, fire some charged wave beam shots at it, and the charged wave beam will stun it and just keep pelting it until it's defeated. And now we have to enter the Dynamo here and do this kind of morph bot puzzle. I do like this puzzle, and this puzzle actually is randomly generated, so multiple playthroughs of the game will result in different configurations. You can take your time. In fact, probably best to take your time, because while you can touch the lasers and take, just a little bit of damage, you get bounced around a lot, so no point in trying to rush through it, as you'll probably end up just bouncing around and taking unnecessary damage. Just make your way slowly and steadily. The maze isn't terribly challenging, in my opinion, and so I think that the vast majority of people will be able to figure the maze out. And our goal right there is that yellow glowing orb, which is the power bomb. As a demonstration of the power bomb's capability, Samus will detonate a power bomb, destroying the dynamo. So now there's all kinds of potential power loss. Power bombs in Metroid Prime are very powerful, but you have an extremely limited number of them. With the power bomb, you can destroy the debris there. That's Spendesium debris. And the other thing we can do is blast these crates and scan, excuse me, power bomb ammunition. Resupplies power bomb with 1 round of ammo. This is one of my major gripes about the game, and again, but major gripes in the sense that it's not really a gripe. It's just that power bomb ammunition at times is in really short supply. There's a computer over there, so we'll just have a look at what it has to say. I like to rescan these. The keeping of pets has been suspended until further notice. Domestic beasts have been deemed highly susceptible to phase-on madness and are thereby a hazard to personnel. All ground cats and oldbaps must be disposed of immediately. Failure to comply will result in the loss of pay for a cycle and reduced rations. An entire shift of Dynamo workers have been transferred following bouts of phase-on madness. Units have reported to Science Team for use in laboratory studies and the new Elite Pirate program. Their dementia will make them adequate training adversaries for the Elite Team. Oh gosh, imagine that. You get exposed to phase-on, you go crazy from it and insane, and your insanity now makes you adversaries for Elite Pirate training. That's terrible. So as you can see, I'm backtracking because once we get the power bombs, the way forward is no longer an option. Even with the power bombs, we don't have the right equipment, so we have to go back to the entrance of the phase-on mines. Once again, passing this Elite Pirate in stasis. And going up here. But we'll see that there is this Elite Pirate that will want to do battle with us. So we can do battle with it. Again, following this strategy. Oh, golly, I missed 2 opportunities there. There we go. Oh, that was a bit embarrassing. Can't believe I missed them. All available troopers report to Mine Security Command. Anyway, so yeah. Backtrack all the way to the beginning of the room. Shoot these explosive crates. And yeah, the big thing now is to conserve power bomb ammo. We're going to need power bombs a couple more times, like in here. Blow open this crate with grating with the power bomb, and we see that there is this scannable panel here. Ventilation control restored. Fan online and clearing fumes. So this will engage this giant fan, not with a twofold function. Blow all the puffers and all the poison gas in that direction. And give us an energy tank. Let's see if we can get... There we go. Energy tank. So we're up to 9 energy tanks. So now we can take our time, boost ball up that wall here. Oh gosh, I just cannot seem to get lined up properly. One more time. There we go. And here we are going to encounter more of these Elite Pirate Troopers. I'm going to restore some of my missiles here. Yeah. I'll say on the harder difficulties, this does feel like a long slog to go through. So if you find that there is actually a fair bit of damage that you're taking, yeah, take your time. One thing I will point out, behind here, there is a door, but on any percent, I think that door might be useful. But for the 100% route, this is to me the most efficient way, because we got a few things that we're going to collect as we backtrack. So grab some of these crates. The game, I will say, is generous in that picking up the power bombs from the dynamo, you get 4 power bombs from the get-go. Each power bomb expansion you get will add 1 more power bomb, with a total of 4 power bomb expansions. Alright, so now that we're climbing this up, so we will use the wave beam to clear out these scatter bamboo. Just these 3 is fine. Again, we'll use the morph ball to go up. That 4th scatter bamboo is above the opening there, so we don't need to take care of it. And now we'll go around and we will engage in this final, actually, nope, I went the wrong way. Nope, the intended path is that, no, we have to jump the gap here, which is fine, we'll jump the gap. So we'll use a power bomb to eliminate the debris here, and now we can use and swing this all the way around like so. Did I put that in the right position? I believe I did. Yeah. We'll have a look over here. Yep. So we put that in the right position, and now we gotta go to the 2nd floor. So we might as well just fall here, or jump, and we will put that. So we're now going to line up the yellow, and once again jump over the railing in here, and finally the yellow is all lined up. And so we can reach that top ledge and find out what the heck is on the top ledge. Here we go. Oh, should have stayed in morph ball. Blast the debris with yet another. And here we have an upgrade we haven't seen in a long time, the grapple beam. Grapple beam's main function is to grapple onto certain grapple points and make certain areas more accessible. Of course, we needed the power bombs to access the grapple beam and remove the debris in front of the door. And with the grapple beam, we can finally scan these things. Analysis indicates a viable attach point for the grapple beam. To use the grapple beam, use Z when the grapple icon appears. So we can, again, use Z, swing over here, and at least we're going to take a shortcut back to the entrance, which is through this door. This room is called Waste Disposal. I have no idea why it's called that, but anyway, the idea is that we go through this water tank, which is a bit of a morph ball maze. Be much more and this is a shortcut that takes us all the way back to the entrance of Phazon Mines. No point in fighting the pirates because we're leaving, and so we'll make our way back to the elevator. Now with the power bombs, this opens a huge amount of areas for us. And so for the 100% category, we're going to be more or less doing a grand tour of Talon 4 and all its areas, collecting most of the power-ups along the way that we can, uh, and as well as the Chozo artifacts. And we will do that in the next video.